Sorry.
My name is Michael.
The human population is about to hit 8 billion people. The world is running out of resources, space, and maybe even time. In this ever-chaotic world of waste, our landfills are filling up at an alarming rate. Scientists believe the greatest challenge the next generation will face is the overwhelming number of people who will populate the Earth. With such a great increase in population, the Earth's resources will be stretched dangerously thin. With this demand for more, the amount of waste produced will increase dramatically. We have heard the word recycling hundreds of times. When asked, people knew about recycling and could quickly come to the decision on whether they recycle or not.
Yes, I do recycle.
I recycle.
Yo reciclo.
But when asked what else they know about recycling,
There are a lot of sports out there, and each one consisting of its own type of equipment. One would have to think, where do the materials come from to make tons of equipment? The answer is, materials are recycled from broken or old equipment. Recycling has shown itself in sports, starting with reusing. But recycling in sports wouldn't be possible if recycling didn't have its own history.
recycling is not a new idea. The history of recycling goes all the way back to the ancient times when people melted swords, pots, or other metals in order to convert them into other useful items like coins. Ancient Egyptians would wash the papyrus paper so they could reuse it. The Greeks would capture enemy ships and use the wood to build some of their own. In World War I and World War II, metal drives were established to use scrap metal for the war effort. Old toys and metal silverware were melted down for tanks and bullets. The war opened the eyes of many Americans to the waste they produced. They became more self-conscious about the things they threw in landfills. However, recycling would have to take a back seat to convenience. The 1950s ushered in the age of polymers and plastics. The 1980s was a wake-up call for many Angelenos. The skyrocketing energy costs called for more recycling from the public. Los Angeles responded by allowing its citizens to get cash for recycling. Another important step in this right direction was the Beverage Container Recycling and Litter Reduction Act. It pushed the city's overall beverage container recycling rate to 80% by the mid-1990s. In the 1970s, during the Earth Day celebration, a senior at the University of Southern California created the iconic image of the 3 green arrows. Each arrow represents the 3 R's: reuse, reduce, and recycle.
My life is enhanced by colorful strokes and upbeat sounds. Life for me revolves around art. The art industry composes beautiful art sculptures made up of recyclable materials such as plastics and paper. Many people don't know it, but our world could revolve around recycling.
Locally, the Los Angeles City Council has created mandatory recycling collections, container deposit legislation, and refuse bans. Mandatory recycling collection laws set recycling targets for cities, while container deposit legislation gives company refunds for returning certain plastic and cardboard containers. Lastly, refuse bans keep certain materials like old oil, batteries, and garden waste out of landfills. There are different systems which have been implemented to collect recyclables. 3 main categories of collection are drop-off centers, buyback centers, and curbside centers. Drop-off centers require the waste producer to carry the recyclates to a central location. Buyback centers differ in that cleaned recyclates are purchased, providing incentive. Curbside collection is a process where the recyclates are collected from bins, sorted, and cleaned to be reused.
I've always dreamed of designing clothes for runway models. Clothes can easily be reused through Goodwill, hand-me-downs, and even garage sales. Reusing and recycling clothes isn't only beneficial towards me and my hobbies, it also benefits those who need clothes the most.
Plastics are sorted out by their chemical structure. After being washed and inspected, the plastic is chopped into tiny flakes. These tiny flakes of plastic are separated in a flotation tank. After the flakes are dried and melted into a liquid, the liquid then comes out in long strands to be later cut into pellets. Making recycled aluminum uses 96% less energy than it does to make one for the first time. The aluminum is shredded, melted, and formed into a block after being cooled. The block, called an ingot, is made into sheets and used to make a new product. Paper that is your chemistry homework takes a very different path. It is first mulched together with water into a pulp, bleached and mixed with a chemical to remove ink and pencil marks. The paper makes its way into a machine that creates sheets. These sheets are dried and shipped to consumers everywhere. However, The natural fibers in paper make it impossible to recycle more than 3 times. Textile recycling is the process of reusing or reprocessing used clothing, fibrous materials, and clothing scraps. Fabrics are sent to a flocking industry and shredded to make new materials for car insulation, roofing felts, loudspeaker cones, and furniture pads.